Welcome to Dibs on Blue. My name is Stephanie, and this is my sign name. Today I want to show how to play this game, Whistlestop. You can play with 2 to 5 players, and the playtime is around 75 minutes. Well, there's an expansion for the game too, called Rocky Mountains. I'll explain a little bit about that later, but first, thank you to Bézier Games for helping me by sponsoring this episode. The concept is that you have a train, and there are resources that you want to get on that train. And then you want the train to travel all the way out west. And during those travels, you can stop, remove resources from your train, leave them behind, and then earn fame, which is basically victory points. And then other resources you can load onto that train and keep traveling. The goal is that you want to hurry and get your trains over to the other side of the board and retire them. And then you will earn fame. Whoever has the most fame wins. To set up, put down the game board so that all of the players can easily see it. On the round track, you want to start in the area based on how many players there are in the game. And then you want 2 coal for each player on each of those spaces. So in this case, there's 6 on each of those spaces. In a later round, you'll see there are whistles, and then you put down 1 whistle for each player. Shuffle all of the gold tokens and put those face down on the table somewhere. You don't want to be able to see what number the gold has. Keep that a secret. The other 3 tokens, which are coal, whistles, and the resources, just set those aside near the board somewhere. Separate the stock cards, which have different colors. There's 5 of them. You want number 1 to be on top. The other numbers will be 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Shuffle the upgrade tiles, and then you need to figure out how many players plus 2, and that's how many upgrade tiles you need. So for instance, if there's 3 players, then you need 5 upgrade tiles. And you put them face up near the board. Shuffle the 10 endgame tiles. The back of the tile is dark green. Put down 8 of those tiles, randomly, on the side of the board, and then the other ones you don't need for the rest of the game. Then you separate the 18 special tiles in the game. There are 10 town tiles, 2 coal yard tiles, 2 trading post tiles, 2 whistle factory tiles, 1 general store, and 1 gold mine. Now, you pick 1 coal yard, 1 trading post, 2 random town tiles, 1 other random tile, but it can't be a coal yard, a trading post, or a town tile. One of the other random ones. You also choose 3 random normal path tiles. Then, you put them all down in the middle of the board. face up like this, just in a random order. Now you randomly pick 9 normal path tiles and you put them down on the side of the board face up like this. Be careful not to create a path that leads right back to the start. You don't want to do that. Shuffle the path tiles and include the special tiles as well that you have left over. So shuffle all of those together and put them near the board, face down. 3 of those tiles place face up. Then each player picks a color, and they have a board that looks like this. I'm blue, of course. Each player needs 3 to 5 trains based on how many players are in the game. Then put down your point marker around the edge of the board at 0. The starting player you can figure out yourself. The first player will get 2 coal. The second player gets 2 coal. The third player will get 3 coal. The fourth will get 3, and the fifth will get 4. Each player also gets 1 whistle. And 3 path tiles. Just randomly pick your tiles so that you have 3. At least one of those tiles has to have a stop. Do you see the example here? Now, if I am first, start with the next player. That player will put down a train of their color on the side of the board here. There's 16 possible spots. After they've put down one of their trains, then it's the next player's turn to do the same. They put down one of their trains, but it cannot go on the same spot as the previous player. It has to be different spots. The next person does the same, the next person, and so on. Everybody puts down one train, and then when everyone has put down all of their trains, it's time to play. If it's my turn, I have up to 4 actions that I can do. You see on the board here? So what can I do? I can transfer one of my coal tokens and put it down on action 1. Now what? So now I can move my train, not another person's train, just mine. So I can move my train forward 1 space. Or I could also go up and down these tiles, move in the columns instead of forward. But you cannot go back. So once I stop, I can earn that resource that I landed on, in this case is brown. But I can only have 10 resources in my supply. If you do go above 10, then you have to get rid of 1 so that you can replace it with the one that you're getting. So what are the resources? We have 6 kinds here. The gray are gravel. The brown is wood. The white is cotton. And those are the common resources. If the tile has a circle with a yellow area in it, that means rare. So those rare resources are red, which is cattle, green, which is whiskey, and blue, which means steel. If I want to move again, I have to transfer another one of my coal tokens, put it on action 2. But now you can see there's nowhere for me to go. So I need one of my path tiles, and you just pick one. Put it down on the board, and now I can move. And I can only go one space forward. If the path tile I put down doesn't have any stops, like this one, then I just keep going until I can stop. So continue putting down path tiles if you need to. If I run out of coal, which I have, then I can't use my third action in that way. But I still have my whistle, which I'll explain a little bit later. All right, so now let's say I'm done. Then I want to make sure that I have 3 path tiles. I only have 2 because I used 1. So I can pick one of the 3 face-up ones, maybe this one, or I can pick from the top and choose a random one. On my board, the tokens I have used need to go back to the general supply, and I don't get them back. So once my turn is finished, and I've made sure that there are 3 path tiles in my supply and 3 face-up tiles, then it's the next player's turn. If the next player also wants to move 1 space forward, but I am already there, then they can't do that. If my train is already on that space, another player cannot join me and then also move ahead of me through me. That's not allowed as well. The middle tiled section of the board, some of them are special tiles, which means that more than one train can occupy that space, like this, at the same time. If the tile says that I earn coal, that's great, but on my turn, I can only have up to 4 coal that I earn. If during the game I pick a special tile, and suddenly I have that in my supply, well, I need to make sure that I put down that special tile during the game, somewhere on the board. Because if the end of the game happens and I still have that special tile in my supply, then I lose 10 points, which I don't want. So the special tiles, we have gold mine, which means that you get 1 gold token. And then you secretly look at it. It's worth a certain amount of points at the end of the game. It can be worth 3 to 5 points. So I take that, I put it face down, because I don't want anyone to know how many points I'm going to get. The general store tile means that you earn 1 resource, and that's up to you. You pick. The town stop means stocks. So you have to pay, for example, in this case, brown and white. And then you earn 5 points. You also get the yellow stock card. If you don't want to pay or you can't pay, then you lose a point in this case. If you land on the stop and you are first, then you get stock number 1, which you really want. Because if you have the most stocks, of the same color, then you earn 15 points at the end of the game, which is a lot. But if another player ties you, then the person who has the least numbered in the circle will win. For example, if I have stock number 1 and stock number 4, then that equals 5, right? But if another player has stock number 2 and stock number 3, then that equals 5 too. So I win because I have stock number 1, which is the lowest number. The trading post tile means you can do up to 2 trades. So you can trade one of your resources in and get 2 coal, 1 whistle, or another common resource. One of your rare resources you can trade in and get 2 common resources or another rare resource of your choice. For the whistle factory, you earn 1 whistle. Now these whistles, what do they do? You can use whistles as an action, just like coal. But if you use a whistle, you don't have to move forward. You can move backwards. You can also move 2 spaces if you want. If you move 2 spaces, you don't earn both resources on those spots. It's only when you stop that you earn a resource. If another player is already at a spot, then I can move on to their spot and then keep going if I play my whistle. So you can move through other trains. If I move and then I don't want to move again, or maybe I can't, then I can buy an upgrade tile. For example, the minecart means that I have to pay 2 gray resources, and then I would get the minecart. On my turn, I can choose to use my coal to earn a gold token in this case. If another player is like, I really want that upgrade tile, but you already bought it. So that person can steal. They still have to pay the cost, like I did, which is 2 gray, but they also have to give me 1 rare resource, and then I have to fork it over. If at the end of the game I have this minecart tile, then I get 3 points, which is pretty cool. If it's my turn and I just can't move or I don't want to, then I earn 1 whistle. But you can still buy upgrade tiles if you want to. You really want to hurry and get over to that other side of the board, because if you land on one of these endgame tiles, you have to pay the resources that are listed, in this case green, brown, and blue, and then earn 20 points. If I can't pay, then I lose 5 points. But if the 20-point tile is right ahead of me, I'm just like right before it, and I don't want to go on to the 20-point tile because I can't pay, then I can play my whistle. And I can move on to the endgame tile, not have to pay, and then keep going onto the end of the board. I don't have to lose points for that. Once you arrive to that edge of the board, which is called the train yard, you want to put down your train, hopefully at the top of the train yard, because those are better. Everything below it kind of gets worse. If I put my train here, then it has certain pictures there where I would get 1 coal, 1 whistle, and 1 question mark. So the question mark means that it is your choice. So I would get to, in this case, pick any kind of resource, rare or common. I would get to choose any coal, whistle, a gold token. It doesn't matter. That would be up to me. During the game, after each round is finished, each player will get their 2 coal on those round track spots. Remember, in a later round, they would earn 1 whistle. And then you would start a new round. When it is the last round and that round is finished, then the game would be over. The game can also end if I get all of my trains to that train yard area. Means all my trains are retired. So for final scoring, you want to add your upgrade tiles, your gold, every common resource you still have is worth 1 point. Every rare resource you have equals 3 points. And then you get 1 point for every 2 tokens you still have for coal and the whistles. Then you look at your stocks for each colored stock category, and whoever has the most in those categories will earn 15 points. If you still happen to have a special tile, then you lose 10 points. Ugh. And then whoever has the most points wins. If there is a tie, then whoever has the most stocks will win. The Rocky Mountain expansion adds more to the board. It actually separates the board and has some that go in the middle. There's also gold that's worth 6 now. There's other stock tiles, 1 more type. There's more path tiles, endgame tiles, upgrade tiles. Poof. So, honestly, I would suggest playing the normal game first, at least once, and then you can add the expansion if you want. Well, that's it for explaining Whistlestop. Thank you again, Bézier Games, for helping me by sponsoring this episode. If you've enjoyed watching, please subscribe, like, and share the link. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Dibs On Blue Games. The Facebook page also has a friendly local game store list of game stores who support this channel. So go ahead and check that out. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and I will gladly respond. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.